this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you are having a fabulous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. Okay, I have a bold challenge for black men of America and the Caribbean. And this is a chance for you to show whether or not you're alpha males or not. This is a chance for you to show your masculinity. And this is your chance to show the world what you're made of. Now, the East Indians are coming like gangbusters against black people in America and also in the UK we see. This little guy, this little clown right here, was the one that Don Lemon had to take on. They're using the controversial interview that Don Lemon had with this guy on the left, this Vivek something or other, as an excuse for firing Don Lemon from CNN. But we all know that's not why they fired Don Lemon. They fired Don Lemon because, number one, his ratings were down, and really down. Number two, he had gotten too big for his britches. His ego was way out there. And number three, he had pissed those white women off. Now that's why he got fired. But they're going to throw this guy a piece of meat to make him think he's so powerful. I got Don Lemon fired. No, you didn't. You went up there and let Don Lemon put you in your place and called you out for the clown that you are. They would not have fired Don Lemon if he had folded and let this man talk all over him. Don Lemon stood up to him. And so on the basis of Don Lemon basically telling him, you don't know anything to tell me, you're just an immigrant, they used that as the excuse to fire him rather than tell him that these white women are sick and tired of you, your ratings are down, and your ego is out of control. But in this particular instance, Don Lemon did his job. Don Lemon didn't do anything but stand up to this man who was talking a whole bunch of garbage, and he didn't know what he was talking about, and Don Lemon did the right thing to challenge him. And I see black people on social media talking about, I guess we're not going to look at Don Lemon as being a champion for black people. Well, yes, he was in that instance. But this little Indian man is sitting up there running his mouth about slavery, talking about how the NRA was formed to give black people the right to own guns so they could fight the Ku Klux Klan. Everybody knows that's a lie. And he's spewing all of this nonsense, all of this garbage. He's nothing but a clown. He calls himself running for president. Oh, what did I say what his name was? Vivek something or other. But he's just out here running his mouth, saying inflammatory things, trying to get attention. Because he's not even in the Republican Party. Nobody even knows who he is. At least everybody knew who Donald Trump was. Nobody ever heard of him before. Can't even pronounce his name. But he's out there running his mouth and, you know, trying to run his mouth, but basically showing his anti-black sentiments. And then over in the UK, they got this guy, the Prime Minister. And when they got rid of Boris Johnson, who was the other prime minister, it seems like they tried to elect everybody for prime minister but this Indian guy. But he kept his name in the hat, and he kept on, and I guess he licked the floor of Parliament and kissed everybody's behind in sight before they would allow him to be the prime minister. Now, we know these Indians are just vying for power, but we know, you know, I know, and the white folk know that they will never be anything but puppets for white supremacy. But they're out here pushing their agenda, and it's an anti-black agenda. So I want black men to tear away from attacking black women long enough to show some real masculine energy, some real alpha male energy, and take these guys on. Stop making videos. Just take a week off from making videos about black women and talking about black women and all the things that black women won't do and all the things that's wrong with black women, and take on these men, because these men are runners. And here this Vivek dude talking to Don Lemon, he was talking about the Civil War, and he was talking about the North, and he was talking about we, like he was here. They wouldn't even let his behind in the country during the Civil War. We have had to go over this over and over and over again. They wouldn't even let any dark-skinned people come into this country before 1965, not in any measurable numbers. And we know that, and he knows that. But they're going to jump off their status as immigrants because that's all he is. And they're still trying to jump on the white people square. Now, white people know what they're doing. They know what the East Indians are doing. But more importantly, white people know what they're doing. They're using these Indians who don't care anything about black people to get their talking points across. That's all this is. Talking points. And if they get elected to something, it's just going to be a figurehead puppet to do what the white people want them to do and say what the white people want them to say. And when they're done with them, it'll be just like that other Indian who was the governor of Louisiana, Bobby Jindal, who didn't even know that if you go to an LSU and Florida football game, you're actually supposed to go to the game. He didn't even know that. And now he's disappeared and nobody's ever heard of him. He was running for a president at one point. But he made a fool out of himself straight out the gate. So black men need to take these men on. Black women have heard everything really it is that black men have to say, and especially everything that's going to do any good. Because right now, black women need to see them take on some men. And black women have heard all of the you need to be held accountable, and black women wear too much weave, and black women is too many single moms. We've heard all of that. We've always, and everybody that's going to be helped by that has already been helped. The message is already out. The word is out. Now you need to show your masculinity. You're talking about being a high value man and an alpha male. What makes a man an alpha male? An alpha male is a man who will take on another man. It's not men sitting up in their grandmama's back room with a cell phone talking about women. There's too much emphasis on women from black men, in my opinion. Now, this is a challenge for black American men and men of the Caribbean. And the reason that that's the case is because in England, where this prime minister jumped up and said that he wasn't going to apologize for slavery and they weren't going to get any reparations, he's talking about people in the Caribbean, CARICOM. They're the ones who are fighting for their reparations from England. And this little Vivek dude, this little clown right here, is directing his message to black Americans. But both of them are just puppets of white supremacy. They're never going to get any power in the United States or in England. All they will ever be is puppets. I have to keep saying that. But they are trying to latch on to white people. And the only reason white people are allowing it is because they are going to use them to take the message to black people that white people want them to take. And when they deliver that message, Jason Black says, when they get through with their instruments, they break them. So they'll break them down when they get tired of them or ignore them like they're doing Bobby Jindal. Now, I know, for my female audience, I know y'all don't like Jason Black. But I listen to him because once in a while, when he's not talking about women, he says things that make sense. And one of the things that he says is, you have to watch these old niggas. And I truly believe that because we see how they will undo everything that's ever been done for black people. But I digress. Black men need to take on these East Indian men who are out here running their mouth. And black men need to take them on. I'm not saying fight, physically fight them. I mean fight the way they're fighting, with words. Put them in their place. They're runners from their country in India. These countries that they're running from, these countries are trying to get on their feet. They need the resources that these people have. Because their claim to fame is, I've worked hard. Nobody has worked harder in the United States than black people. And we won't even say that. We won't even say that. And they talk about, I've worked hard. Well, America is not about you coming here and working hard. America is about sacrificing blood, sweat, and tears. Skin in the game. When you're putting skin in the game, you're making a sacrifice. And not only you, but your family. When this Vivek clown uses the word we, he's not even talking about himself. Somebody needs to tell him that. You're not even talking about yourself. You weren't even here. Oh, you can't say anything about the immigrants. Well, why not? That's what he is. I don't care if he was born in the United States. He came here as an immigrant after 1965. These people have to be called out. But black men who have so much heat and so much smoke and so much to say when it comes to black women don't seem to even know these people exist. But these people are attacking the character of black Americans, people who really sacrifice to bring this empire about. And black men need to develop some talking points. And black men need to show up when these people are speaking and remind them of who they are and remind these immigrants of who you are. You wouldn't even be here if this country hadn't opened up its society in the 1960s so you could come. So don't talk to me. But anyway, this is my challenge to black men. Go after these men for a change. Go after these East Indian men specifically. Because they don't even have the status that the Chinese have. At least the Chinese have worked and suffered and went through all kinds of discrimination, not the same as we, but they went through there. They listened to, if you listen to that Chinese woman, I forget her name, she'll tell you all the stuff that they went through that we didn't even know about because the focus has been on black people. But this is a challenge for black men. Show your masculinity. Show your alpha maleness and take these men on and put them in their place. And if y'all agree with me, let me know. Okay. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Share the video. And as always, have a great day.